very challenging to find daycare in Stearns County, really anywhere nowadays in Minnesota.
My daughters tell me every day that I'm a great dad and I'm doing a great job. And as much as my self-talk has told me I'm not doing enough, or when they say that, it brings it all together. There couldn't be a better moment than that.
If you're not already on a waiting list when you're pregnant, by the time you have that baby, it's almost impossible to find an open daycare.
In central Minnesota, it's for some reason double the crisis it is everywhere else. If we look at another region in our state, if they're short 2,200 slots for childcare, so open available places for kiddos to go, we have double that.
If every child under the age of 5 was able to access quality childcare, we are short 5,600 spots to be able to cover all the children in our area.
It's hard to find because there aren't enough slots available. It's expensive for those that are looking for it. If you're trying to have an infant, the wait list can be up to 3 years long.
For me, I cannot afford it without county assistance. It is extremely expensive. We're talking like hundreds of dollars a week. How does anybody really afford that unless they have another income or somebody to help with that?
A month before I went into surgery, I ended up getting custody of my 2 girls. Their mom was charged with abuse, and so I took custody of them. And I was dating a girl at the time who was doing daycare at my house already, so she watched them full time while I recovered from the surgeries. We had a shared bank account, and she ended up wanting to leave the relationship. So the bank account was drained, and I was left without a penny, about 5 cents left in the account. A couple weeks before my daughter's 5th birthday and before Christmas. So I reached out to everyone. I reached out to the county to help me find some daycare so I could continue working and providing for my children. And I believe the Crisis Nursery helped me find the first emergency daycare so I could continue working.
Crisis Nursery is a organization that helps families that are in need and in emergency situations find childcare for their child when they don't have the resources to find it themselves.
It can be, I'm calling for tomorrow, I'm calling for right now, I'm calling for 2 days from now. But they make sure that these kiddos have a place to go in these emergency situations so that the needs of the family can be met.
And it's all about the well-being of the children and the family. And we take pride in making connections and building the bridges for families that are looking for help. And we offer free emergency childcare, donations of diapers, wet wipes, formula, clothing. And the connection piece is important. When we place children in a licensed home or a child care center, that potentially could be a long-term care for that family. It could lead into permanent care for a family looking for child care.
Crisis Nursery is really just essentially help when you need it. In my case, I had a couple health procedures that I had to do where I didn't have any care for her, so that's where they stepped in and helped provide care for just a few days.
When there was an opening at a daycare they worked with, they would let me know the day before or the day of so that I could let my bosses know, hey, I can work this to this. It helped in the meantime until I could find a more permanent solution to my problems.
When you're raising kids on your own, I think, yeah, that's huge to have somebody step in that you know is trustworthy.
If Crisis Nursery wasn't there, I believe we would have struggled a lot more with getting back on our feet and getting things in order. The girls have already had enough trauma in their lives, like we weren't gonna fail somehow, some way. Dad was gonna make something work.
She's in daycare now, and I just thankfully got a position working that falls within those hours of daycare. So I drop her off in the morning, I go to work, and then I pick her up as soon as I'm done with work.
Right now I'm using daycare assistants through the county, and I have a daycare provider right around the corner from me that I drop them off for 7 hours a day.
But everyone with a child is impacted by the child care crisis. It doesn't matter whether you are high or low income. The lack of spaces and spots for your child in quality child care programs affects everyone.
And the biggest thing I think that United Way helps is filling that gap and building the bridge from one program to another so that we can get long-term care help for families. It's not just putting out the fire, it's about long-term stability, and that's why United Way is here, is to make that happen. And without United Way, we could not continue to help the families past their first emergency situation.
The girls are blossoming. They feel a lot safer now that we've had a solid base and a home for so long.
It doesn't just take a village, it takes United Way to raise a family. It does.